Hello everyone, ni hao, and welcome to the 9th episode of Raptors in 1. So guys, today's episode is going to be a little different. We're going to have a double header. Partly it's my fault because I didn't really have enough time to post my post-game thoughts on Dallas Mavericks versus the Toronto Raptors when they were in town. And of course, tonight's game, it's the Chicago Bulls taking on the Toronto Raptors at home. We back, baby. So, without any further ado, let's get into our doubleheader. So we're going to start off by covering the game on the 23rd of October. That was a Saturday when Dallas Mavericks visited the Toronto Raptors. And, I got to say, it was at a losing effort. With our, let's have a look here, our score 95 to 103. It was one of those games where the way it started well. I had a good feeling about it, and I even thought, hey, you know what? On a back-to-back, it seems like Toronto might win this one. The first half was great. OG started well. He was just killing it. And I thought, you know what? This is the way to reply, to bounce back, to be like, hey, you thought I was out? You thought I wasn't performing well? You thought I was just a preseason guy? No, I'm in the season as well. And so, he played very well. He connected on a lot of shots. He was playing good defense, and it was almost like he was unstoppable. And I thought, wow, Dallas is in for a night. And then, surely enough, in the second half, I think he scored like maybe 3, maybe 4 points the entire half. Yeah. So apart from the fact that Dallas started to narrow their defense on OG, and apart from that, again, it was a back-to-back, and of course that results in tired legs, first back-to-back. Your conditioning is not there yet. And especially when you're expending a lot of energy on defense, it's gonna take a toll on your offensive game too. But again, I think I'm just gonna chalk it up to basically tired legs. So let's have a quick look at the stats over here for the night. When I look at the overall game here, again, Dallas they shot the ball better than we did. They had a slight edge over in the rebounds as well. They had 50 rebounds, we had 49. Considering you have they were bigger than us, and then you also had Kristaps, with his size. I know he doesn't typically crash the boards because he's almost like a Andrea Bargnani, but the other members of Dallas, they're pretty big, right? Considering that we kept it close there, but I feel like where we went wrong, what hurt us the most, the 3-point field goal percentage, and it's starting to become a pattern. It can range from taking bad 3-point shots to just not taking enough 3-point shots. And then, of course, the points in the paint, that's where they had the advantage. Again, they were big. They knew that, so they took advantage of it. And then, of course, you got Luka Doncic. I think we did a decent job on him in the first quarter, arguably the second quarter too. But then after that, Doncic was just being Doncic. He took care of business. He handled it. He let us know, I'm Luka Doncic. Hookah Luka, it don't matter. Call me whatever you want. I'm going to take advantage of you guys. And that's exactly what he did, And that's another thing that, the Raptors are missing right now is a superstar. I mean, yes, the defense is going to be there, but we will have offensive struggles. And especially inside the paint, the vulnerability is glaring. So we're going to take a quick look at the box score and see how some of the players that stood out to me from the Toronto Raptors squad performed in the game. Of course, you know who I'm going to start with, Precious Achiuwa. In 33 minutes of action, he got 10 points. on 4 of 9 field goal percentage. Not bad. Again, he's an undersized big, trying to play big, and even the coaching staff is expecting that from him because, he's a strong boy, right? Undersized, sure, but he's a strong boy, and of course, he has the ability to get the boards. As we can see, 12 boards. That's pretty good. Yeah, defense. You don't necessarily see it in the stats here, but of course, there's no stats for deflections. There's no stats for altering shots, because if we start having stats like that, then we'll be looking at a huge stat line every game. OG, he started well, man. He was good in the first half, and then they tightened it up on defense on him specifically in the second half. And again, 31 minutes of action, 23 points. I think 15 of those were in the first half. So, yikes, right? 4 boards, 9 of 15 field goal percentage. Not bad. That's really pretty decent. 2 blocks, 2 steals. He was playing, man. He was playing. 5 of 9 3-point field goal percentage. That was good. Yeah, like he was doing very well in the first half. Just the second half, not the best. Now we're gonna talk about our super rookie, Scottie Barnes. 29 minutes of action, 17 points, and 2 assists. Okay, 8 boards. That's pretty good, man. That's a good stat line. 6 of 12 field goal percentage, very good again. And then of course Fred VanVleet. He struggled in the first half. He wasn't playing all that great in the first half, and it's like I mentioned in my previous episodes that he was struggling, and he is struggling with bigger defenders, and it feels like the coaches and the scouts have noticed it in the other squads. Of course, it's been like that for like I want to say like 2 seasons that we've noticed that. I'm sure it's been longer than that, but at least I, for one, have noticed it for the past 2 seasons, and it's translating straight back here in this season. And so you put a bigger defender on Freddie, he's going to struggle. You just cover his field of vision, you contest his shots, and he's going to struggle. But then he definitely did pick it up in the second half. I think there was definitely some very questionable calls too. I gotta say the officiating was not consistent in this game. Yeah. I'm definitely not gonna get fined for saying something like that because I'm just a fan. So Freddie scored in 38 minutes of action, 20 points. He had 5 assists, 5 boards. Not bad. 8 of 7 field goal percentage and 1 steal. Yeah, so 38 minutes of action with a stat line like that. It's I think Freddie could be better. Still 20 points is good, but I still think he could be better. So I noticed one thing in the game that stood out to me, and definitely was it was a nice thing to see. Does that mean I've changed my thoughts about Dragic? Slightly. I still want him off the squad. But again, I think that's what he wants to, so it really doesn't matter what I think about him at this point. I would like to say though, it was very nice to see him be a leader on the bench. In the game that I was watching, they showed a small clip of Dragic on the bench in one of the timeouts, basically trying to rally the people on the bench, and you can see Freddie sitting on the bench just kind of nodding his head up and down like yep, exactly correct. And all the other people, they were listening in. And yes, Dragic is a veteran, and he's played enough seasons to know how to be a leader. I get that. And I'm trying to be objective, because I'm trying not to just judge him based on that one silly little interview, but I just can't get it out of my head. I just can't, and it's just gonna keep bothering me. So and of course it's like regardless of how he wants to backpedal at this point, everybody knows his intentions. He doesn't want to stay because he wants to go for a championship. And you know what? I'm not gonna blame him for that because he's played a lot of seasons, and any NBA player who comes into the NBA, they're not just looking to get a lot of money. Yes, money is definitely a factor, but once you get the money, now you're starting to look at, making history. It's just kind of like if you're working and you're, in a job that you like, of course you want to excel, right? You want to be recognized, and you want to get the promotions. You want to win something. You want to be recognized for being one of the best. And I can't blame him for thinking that he would rather go team up with one of the other teams that he feels has higher aspirations and or better chances to win the championship. So my last thoughts on this game, essentially, it showed that they're a young team, right? I think I'm pretty sure I've mentioned this in my previous episodes, or one of my previous episodes, that is that you're a young team. Yes, you want to run and gun, but you gotta run and gun being controlled and with purpose. You can't just run and gun because you're young and the fastest team. No, it's gotta be controlled. It's gotta have a purpose, and you gotta be. And this will come. This will come. They just need to be playing a lot more, practicing a lot more together, figure out each other's tendencies, and it will come. The next thing they gotta figure out is how to play on a back-to-back. I think Scottie Barnes kind of gave us a little scare there when he had I think it was like a sore or a tweaked or left or right quad contusion or something like that, and he had to step out of the game. Well, that typically happens when you don't have the conditioning, and that's expected from a rookie, and B, you're not used to playing a NBA style back to back. So regardless of how young you may think you are and how durable you may think you are, the competition and the level of competition at the NBA level is a lot more different and a lot more tougher than what you faced in college. And then of course, your the way you're resting, and of course the way that quad contusion happened, and then when he came back, I feel like it could be also a just a dehydration problem, right? You just needed to hydrate properly, get those electrolytes back into your system, get a little massage, whatever, just to get back into the game. And hopefully that's one thing he's definitely going to have to learn, is post-game care of his body, right? He's young, he feels he's invincible. Well, if you want a longer career, these are the things you need to sit with a veteran and kind of pick up from them, these habits. You started now, it's going to be favorable for you moving forward, and you're going to have a longer NBA career than your predecessors. So that's it for the Dallas versus Toronto Raptors game. Yeah, it sucked that they couldn't win, but hey, still early. Not panicking, not hitting that panic button. But if you like my content, hit that subscribe button, or you can comment and definitely hit that thumbs up button. It's always nice to see some appreciation, right? Some little positive feedback. And now we're going to get into my post-game thoughts on the Chicago Bulls versus Toronto Raptors game. So without any further ado, let's get it. This game was a heartbreaker of a game. Yeah. Of course, we lost to Chicago Bulls. It was a close game, 108, 111. It came down to the very last seconds of the game, and it was just a very heartbreaking game to watch. I want to say, like, the starting wasn't too bad. The first quarter, we kept it close. It was a tie. But then from the second quarter on, things were just not looking too great for us, especially on the offensive end. Defense was always there. Defense is, and I know that with this squad, defense will always be there. It will be consistent, whether we're struggling with our offense or not. However, I will tell you this: the one encouraging thing from this game that you can take away is that the defense is so good that if our offense is really struggling, we can keep it close. It will be a loss, but it will be close loss. It wouldn't be a blowout loss. But if we win, it will be a blowout win. Or, to be honest, I can't see us winning by a close margin if we're doing well on the offensive end as well. So I'm just going to take a look at the stats over here for the game, just the overall stats here. And to be honest, guys, like these stats are so weird because I feel like we had the edge over Chicago not almost, but in most of the categories. Like, we had a better shooting percentage, even if it was just by like 0.1%. They had 48.1, we had 48.2, so it was kind of like we were keeping it close. We out rebounded them big time, which I guess I was watching some other game because I feel like I felt like we were out rebounded, but clearly we weren't. We actually like got 20 more rebounds than they did. That's crazy. Of course, what really killed us was the turnovers. Yes, of course, we eventually started getting Chicago Bulls to turn over the ball even more. Again, that on the ball pressure, that's the key, you know. And we started doing that with them, but you know what? Like, for the first half, I would say they were very careful with the ball. I think they may have only had like 2 or 3 turnovers as a full squad. So that was good on their part, and we were almost nearing 10. Yeah, that was pretty bad. But again, that's how we dug ourselves in a hole, because then we had like a double-digit lead. I mean, they had a double-digit lead, and especially in the third quarter, it was kind of like they turned it up. We were down by 15 at some points, 13 for the most part of the third quarter. Most of our work we did in the fourth quarter. But again, like, it's just we need offense on this team. We really do, and we need consistent offense. I'm gonna have to call out our veterans on this one. We really need consistent offense from our veterans. We need Freddie to be a leader. Like, this team was being run by Kyle Lowry for 8 or 9 seasons. The one thing good about Kyle Lowry is that even if he was struggling on the offensive end, he always made it work, and we still had the wins for the most part, even if he was struggling, because he knew how to impact the game in so many other ways. And I'm not saying that Freddie doesn't. What's working against Freddie is that I think he wants to be a vocal leader like Kyle Lowry, and I think he has the ability to do that. It's just that with the new personnel, new personalities even, I feel like that is probably what's stopping, I guess that's what's probably hindering the development process, and of course his own leadership capabilities as well. In this game, the 3-point field goal percentage, they had a little bit of an edge, of course, but we were kind of there. They had the edge on free throw percentage for sure, and this is one department that I can tell, even from the preseason leading up to Game 4, we really need to work on our free throw percentage for sure. OG definitely needs to work on it. We had a huge edge on the points in the paint. Again, it feels like I was watching some other game because it seemed like we were trying to score a lot in the paint, and we were, the shots were either being blocked or contested, mostly contested, but it wasn't easy for us to get points in the paint. And that's a very surprising thing for me. We need to play a full 48 minutes game. We cannot dig ourselves a hole. We can't be led by another team for more than 10 points. I would say if you keep it under 10, we have a good chance to fight back. We don't have to expend as much energy. For us, it's like we're an inexperienced young team. We need to be a little more disciplined with the ball. We need to take better shots, better shot quality, improve our shot percentage, and learn to work with each other. Learn to, like, pretty much they're going to have to learn each other's tendencies. And one of the biggest things I've noticed that's preventing scoring in the paint, it's the spacing. I feel like we need to improve on our spacing. Most of the guys, because they're not good 3-point shooters, they tend to hang around inside the arc. What essentially does that is it clogs up the paint and in the mid-range area as well, which means that now the defenders, they're concentrated there. So if somebody like Freddie is trying to, go in for a layup or even a jump shot, he can't do that because the taller defenders are there. Especially when you're running the pick and roll, I feel like Achua, like he sets good picks and he rolls extremely well. It's just that, again, with Freddie, he's bothered by the longer defender, and because of that, he's not able to either dish it to the person, or he's not able to set up Achua well enough for like an alley-oop dunk, or even just to shoot, just to get like a layup in the lane. So now we're going to look at the individual stats for all our players here. Not for all our players, just for the ones that stood out to me. Of course, we're going to start off with Precious Achiuwa. That's right. In this game, again, being an undersized big, and in this season, of course, is the first season that he's actually getting so much responsibility, so many minutes. It's competing with the bigs of the other squads is going to be tough for him, especially when he's also expected to be a good defender, and he is an amazing on-the-ball defender, especially for those perimeter guys. The way he defends those perimeter guys, it's like, and I've noticed this, like those people, the shooting guards, the small forwards who are smaller than him, or even just the same size, they feel like, oh, okay, you know what? He switched over to me. Now that's a mismatch. No, you are wrong. Precious is a very mobile defender, and I would say 9 out of 10 times he's stopped those players. So y'all better take notice, because he is not a mismatch. Even on the perimeter, he's not a mismatch. Precious scored 11 points and 11 boards, another double-double. In 28 minutes of action. Field goal percentage 4 of 12. Not surprised. 1 of 2 3-point percentage. Not bad. And that's what I've noticed. Like, I feel like, if he's working on his 3-point game, I think he needs to start shooting it more, because defenders are actually leaving him alone. And if he can even knock down the open 3, even at like a 40% rate, that's good, because then now he can somewhat keep the defense honest. So I don't know. Again, maybe it's part of the plays. Maybe he's not supposed to be shooting the 3. We'll see what happens. Gary Trent Jr., he really impressed me in this game. This was his second start or third start. I want to say this was his second start in the season, and he showed why he should be starting. He played very well. He was one of the bright spots. So in 36 minutes of action, he scored 18 points, 1 assist, 5 boards. What you don't see, and now you might be thinking, well, he's only scored 18 points in 36 minutes. Yeah, well, he didn't just do it offensively. It's the kind of shots he took and the times that he took those shots. Those were timely shots, as in we needed those points, and he came in through. His 3-point percentage was very good. He scored 4 of 9. Yeah, that was good, and I feel like we're gonna definitely need his 3-point shooting. OG had a pretty decent game. In 38 minutes of action, he scored 22 points, 5 assists, and 8 boards. He almost got a double-double over there. That was a pretty good statistical game for him. Like he's got 8 of 17 field goal percentage. It was all right, not too bad. 2 steals. Yep, he's definitely very good at reading the passing lanes and jumping the passing lanes. He's very good at that. 50% field goal, 3-point percentage, 4 for 8. Yeah, overall he had a pretty decent game too. It was all right, Kent. But again, I feel like I'm expecting a lot more from OG, and maybe that's not fair to him. Maybe he's not supposed to be our first option guy. Now I want to be talking about Freddie's minutes. He played the most minutes. He's played 42 minutes, almost the whole game, and he scored 15 points, 17 assists, and 6 boards. Those 17 assists are amazing, but I can see why he got those 17 assists. And it's very clear. It's because, the size was bothering him. He wasn't able to get his shot, especially in the first half. And he had no other choice but to distribute the ball, make it happen for others. And that is what you should be doing. Yeah, for sure. But I feel like if we need to get that edge, we need to be able to make some of our other guys score better. He needs to take off some of the shooting, some of the scoring pressures from them. As in, he needs to be scoring more. 6 of 13 field goal percentage, not bad, not bad. 2 steals, very good defensively. The one thing that really does make me panic a little bit about Freddie were the 8 turnovers. That is a lot of turnovers. And that is, again, it's coming back to the whole, you put a bigger defender on Freddie, you clog up his vision, and of course, part of it is even his teammates when they're just kind of clustering around the paint / inside the 3-point arc. It leads him into 2 defenders at points at sometimes. He's already struggling with a bigger defender on him. If you put another defender on him, that's what's going to happen. You're going to get turnovers. I feel like spacing needs to be addressed. So my final thoughts, guys, this was a winnable game. I honestly thought, regardless of how it went, this was still a winnable game. Sometimes the ball just doesn't bounce your way. Sometimes you're also dealing with fishy officiating. It happens. And, still early in the season. Let's not hit that panic button, guys. We will be all right. I have a feeling like Masai and Bobby, they're probably thinking, let's wait till game 10, and if things don't really work out, then we're going to see if we can get another big. Maybe they're not even waiting till game 10. Who knows? We'll see. So that's all the post-game thoughts from me, folks. We got another game on Wednesday, October 27th at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're taking on the Indiana Pacers. Bring it on, guys. We got the same identical record, 1-3. But again, they do have Miles Turner, big man, that we need to worry about. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see how we're gonna fare. And I'm predicting a Raptors win because I feel like they're gonna want to get a win for the fans. It's been a very long time since they've come back to their home court to play. They know it. And of course, we know it. We want to see that win at the home court. Come on, it's called home court advantage for a reason. Again, don't forget, if you like this content, hit the subscribe button. I'm going to try to be a little more diligent with the content. And of course, don't forget to comment. Let me know what you guys thought about this game. And also let me know, what do you guys think? Like, do we need a big man who can kind of take the pressure off the paint? Or do we need better perimeter shooting? Let me know in the comments section. Give me a thumbs up. Until the next time, I'm out.